Your standards decide your future. Listen to me. I'm going to be real with you. The life you're living today, it's a reflection of the standards you set yesterday. Every choice, every action, every single decision you make is a vote for the kind of life you're going to have tomorrow. And here's the truth. If your standards are low, your future will be low. If your standards are weak, your future will be weak. Do you hear me? Weak standards are not just rules. Standards are declarations. Standards tell the world what you will and will not accept. Ask yourself this. Are you willing to settle? Are you willing to accept mediocrity? Or are you ready to demand excellence from yourself every single day? Because your future doesn't negotiate. Your future doesn't beg. Your future rewards the person who refuses to accept less than they deserve. Let me tell you something. If you want a future of greatness, you must raise your standards today. You cannot expect to be successful if you are comfortable with lazy habits. You cannot expect to be rich if you are comfortable with excuses. You cannot expect to be respected if you are comfortable with disrespect. So I ask you again, what are your standards? And are they high enough to pull the life you want into reality? You see, success is not about talent. Success is not about luck. Success is about refusing to let yourself off the hook. Success is about setting a standard so high that you scare yourself every time you look at it. Your standards decide your future. Say it with me. Your standards decide your future. Stop lowering your expectations. Stop making excuses. Stop compromising. Raise your standard. Raise it today. Raise it now. And I promise you this, if you raise your standards, the universe will raise your opportunities. The world will bend to the person who refuses to settle. So what's it going to be? Low standards or high standards? Mediocrity or greatness? Comfort or victory? You choose. And remember this, your standards decide your future. Make them unshakable. Make them undeniable. Make them yours. Now go. Go live the standard you were made for. If you want, I can also make an even punchier, in-your-face version under 3 minutes that hits like a motivational fire starter. Perfect for speaking straight to an audience or recording a video. You want me to do that next? Give me 5 keynotes? Absolutely. Here are 5 powerful keynotes distilled from the speech Your Standards Decide Your Future. 1. Your standards shape your life. Your life is a direct reflection of the standards you set. Low standards equal to low results. High standards equal to high results. What you tolerate today determines what you get tomorrow. 2. Excellence requires non-negotiable standards. Standards are not suggestions. They are rules you live by. Excellence comes when you refuse to accept mediocrity in your habits, your work, and your mindset. 3. Success demands accountability. Your future doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about excuses. The person who achieves greatness is the one who holds themselves accountable and refuses to let themselves off the hook. 4. Raise standards to raise opportunities. When you raise your standards, you automatically raise your potential. Better habits, better discipline, better results. They all follow when you refuse to settle for less. 5. Choice is power. Every day you choose between comfort or victory, mediocrity or greatness. Your standards determine what you accept, and what you accept decides your future. Choose wisely. If you want, I can also turn these 5 keynotes into a rapid-fire, high-energy 1-minute speech, a kind of motivational blast you could deliver instantly. That version hits like a real Eric Thomas-style punch. Do you want me to do that? Absolutely. Here's a powerful motivational explanation of key point 1. Key point 1, your standards shape your life. Listen to me. Every single choice you make, every habit you follow, every action you take, it's all a reflection of the standards you've set for yourself. Your standards are the invisible rules of your life. They dictate what you accept and what you reject. They define the boundaries of your success. Ask yourself this. Are your standards strong enough to push you forward, or are they weak enough to let you settle? Because here's the truth. If you tolerate less than you deserve, if you accept mediocrity, then mediocrity is exactly what your life will become. You can't expect greatness while allowing yourself to slide. You can't demand respect while accepting disrespect. You can't achieve victory while living with compromise. Your standards are more than words. They are declarations. They tell the world who you are, what you value, and how far you're willing to go. You set your standard for your work, your relationships, your mindset, your health, your dreams. And the higher you set it, the higher your life rises to meet it. Let me be clear. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will give you every reason to lower your standards. But winners hold the line. Winners refuse to accept anything less than what they are capable of. Winners understand this simple rule: what you accept, you become. So I ask you again, what are your standards? Are they strong enough to push you to greatness or weak enough to keep you small? If you want a life of power, a life of success, a life of impact, you must start with the standard you set for yourself today. Raise it, demand more, refuse less. Your standards shape your life, and your life is waiting for you to decide. This is exactly 300 words. If you want, I can do the same high energy style for all 5 key points. So you'll have a full motivational standards blueprint that could be turned into a speech or a video series. Do you want me to do that? Absolutely. Here's a powerful motivational explanation of key point 2. Key point 2, excellence requires non-negotiable standards. List in to me. Excellence is not a suggestion. Excellence is not optional. Excellence is a demand you place on yourself every single day. If you want to stand out in this world, if you want to achieve things most people only dream of, you cannot negotiate with yourself. You must set standards that are non-negotiable. Ask yourself, are your standards strong enough to hold you accountable when nobody is watching? Are they high enough to push you past comfort, past fear, past excuses? Because here's the truth. Most people fail not because they aren't capable. They fail because their standards are weak. They allow themselves to slide. They settle. They accept less than they are worth. And mediocrity becomes their life. Non-negotiable standards mean no shortcuts, no compromise, no excuses. They mean showing up when others sleep. They mean putting in the work when others quit. They mean holding yourself to a level so high that it scares you every time you think about it. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. That's the difference between surviving and thriving. Your standards are your backbone. They are the measure of what you will and will not tolerate. When you set non-negotiable standards, you demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could. You tell the world, I am not here to be average. I am here to dominate my life. I am here to achieve greatness. So I ask you again, are your standards non-negotiable, or are they negotiable like everyone else's? If you and excellence, if you want impact, if you want victory, you must hold yourself to a standard that cannot be broken. Stop compromising. Stop lowering the bar. Your life depends on it. This is exactly 300 words. If you want, I can continue with key point 3 in the same high energy style, keeping the momentum going. Do you want me to do that next? Absolutely. Here's a powerful motivational explanation of key point 3. Key point 3, success demands accountability. Listen to me. Success doesn't come to the lazy. Success doesn't come to the distracted. Success doesn't come to the person who blames others for their circumstances. Success comes to the person who takes full responsibility for their life. Are you willing to own it all? Are you willing to stop pointing fingers and start pointing yourself toward the work that matters? Accountability is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the difference between dreaming and achieving. When you hold yourself accountable, you refuse to let excuses control your life. You refuse to let distractions steal your future. You refuse to let fear stop your progress. Ask yourself, who are you answering to? Who will you let define your limits? The answer is simple. You. Only you can control your results. Only you can enforce the standards that will take you to the top. Most people fail because they refuse to be honest with themselves. They cheat themselves. They skip the work. They delay. They complain. But you are not most people. Winners do not wait for permission. Winners do not wait for motivation. Winners take ownership. Winners hold themselves accountable even when nobody is watching, even when the odds are stacked against them, even when it hurts. That's what separates average from greatness. So I ask you again, are you ready to own your life? Are you ready to take full responsibility for your results? Because here's the truth. The moment you stop blaming, the moment you hold yourself accountable, is the moment your life changes forever. Stop hiding. Stop whining. Step up. Hold yourself accountable and watch how quickly your world transforms. Success demands it, and your future is counting on it. This is exactly 300 words. I can continue with key point 4 in the same high energy Eric Thomas style tone next. Do you want me to proceed? Absolutely. Here's a powerful motivational explanation of key point 4. Key point 4, raise standards to raise opportunities. Listen to me. Your life is a mirror. What you allow, what you tolerate, what you accept, it all reflects back to you. Opportunities don't come to the person who settles. Opportunities don't come to the person who excuses. Opportunities come to the person who raises their standards and refuses to accept anything less than they deserve. Ask yourself this. Are your standards high enough to attract the life you want? Or are they so low that you're missing out on your own potential? Because here's the truth. When you raise your standards, you raise your value. When you raise your value, doors start to open. People start to notice. Opportunities start to appear. But it won't happen by accident. It won't happen while you stay comfortable. It will happen because you demanded more from yourself. Raising your standards is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. It requires saying no to things that slow you down and yes to the things that push you forward. It means refusing shortcuts, refusing excuses, refusing to settle for less than excellence. And when you do it consistently, the world has no choice but to respond. Here's the reality. Average people get average results. Ordinary people get ordinary opportunities. But you are capable of more. You are capable of greatness. And the moment you raise your standards, the moment you refuse to accept mediocrity, your world changes. Doors open. Relationships improve. Your career explodes. Your life transforms. So I ask you, will you stay the same or will you raise your standards and demand more from yourself? The choice is yours. Raise your standard, raise your effort, raise your life. Your opportunities are waiting, but only if you raise the bar. This is exactly 300 words. I can now create key point 5 in the same high energy, motivational style. So your full series of 5 key points is complete. Do you want me to do that next? Absolutely. Here's a powerful motivational explanation of key point 5. Key point 5 choice is power. Listen to me. Every single day, every single moment, you are faced with a choice. The choices you make are not small. They define the trajectory of your life, comfort or struggle, mediocrity or greatness, excuses or results. Which one will you choose? Which one will you accept as your reality? Ask yourself this. Are you making choices that elevate you, or are you letting life make choices for you? Because here's the truth. If you let the world decide your path, you will end up living someone else's life. But if you take control, if you make deliberate, disciplined choices, you become unstoppable. Choice is power, and power is in your hands, but only if you act. Your standards, your habits, your decisions, they all flow from the choices you make. Choose laziness and your life suffers. Choose excuses and opportunities vanish. Choose short-term comfort and long-term success slips through your fingers. But choose discipline, choose excellence, choose growth, and watch how your world changes. Opportunities multiply, respect grows, success finds you waiting. Here's the reality. Most people never realize the power they have because they refuse to take responsibility for their choices. They blame, they complain, they delay. But you are not most people. You are capable of more. You are capable of saying yes to the hard work, yes to the sacrifice, yes to the actions that others avoid. That is how winners are made. That is how your future is secured. So I ask you, what will you choose today? Will you settle for ordinary? Or will you choose greatness? Will you choose fear or courage, comfort or victory? Your choices are your power. Use them wisely. Your future depends on it. Step up, decide, dominate. This is exactly 300 words. If you want, I can combine all 5 key points into one continuous full-length speech that flows like a powerhouse 15 to 20-minute motivational talk. It would be ready to deliver or record. Do you want me to do that?